All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, a great millstone, for teaching me this truth. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, edifying to the Lord's elect. I'm gonna go through this I'm gonna go through X, Twitter, see what's on the news, and I'm just gonna go into some precepts. In X, it says today's news: Starmer expands Gaza aid amid statehood urgency. Zebra crossing clash involves safety violations. Gabbard challenges Obama on election claims. Matter of fact, I want to go and see about Macron and Palestine, something like that. Macron said he was going to do something with Palestine. I forgot what he said. French President Emmanuel Macron arrives in 1940 occupied. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I spelled Palestine wrong. There was some news. He's doing something for them. I forgot what he said he was going to do. French President Macron says France will recognize Palestine as a state. Yeah, let's see, what does that mean? Let's see if someone can talk about that.
Skip the rental counter with Turo. Rent just about any car, just about anywhere.
This is a story about the one. The one who looked.
The time and place is set. France will recognize the state of Palestine in September at the United Nations. After teasing the prospect for months, France's President Emmanuel Macron made the announcement on social media.
True to its historic commitment to a just and lasting peace in the Middle East, I've decided that France will recognize the state of Palestine. I will make the solemn announcement at the UN General Assembly next September. The urgency today is to end the war in Gaza and provide aid to the civilian population. Peace is possible.
As a supporter of the two-state solution, Macron has repeatedly defended the merits of his approach, for the Palestinians but also for the Israelis.
I believe in the future of a two-state solution as the basis for a regional security architecture that will allow Israel to live in peace and security with its neighbours. I believe in a need to unite our voices in Paris, London and everywhere else to recognise a state of Palestine and initiate this political dynamic, which is the only one consistent with the prospect of peace.
You know, they already had a two-state solution and it didn't work, so you asking for something that's not gonna work. That's number one. Number two is you took it too far this time. You know, so I don't think there's gonna be any solution except for destruction in this place. But I don't want to keep going on with it. Let's see what's on True Social. You know, let's see what Duck's talking about. I just had a very good call with the Prime Minister of Cambodia and informed him of my discussions with Thailand and its acting Prime Minister. Both parties are looking for an immediate ceasefire and peace. They are also looking to get back to the trading table with the United States. Where was I? Which we think is inappropriate to do until such time as the fighting stops. They have agreed to immediately meet and quickly work out a ceasefire and ultimately peace. It was an honor to deal with both countries. They have a long and storied history and culture. They will hopefully get along for many years to come. When all is done and peace is at hand, I look forward to concluding our trading agreements with both. And you always talk about some damn peace, man. I don't think there's no peace over there, man. What's that precept I'm looking for? Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter. He tells you, let me just grab it, see if I can find it. He basically says in this verse that I'm thinking of that where is it? Ecclesiasticus 12. He basically says Shit. I can't even think of the precept right now. It's he'll let me see. It's a lot here. I barely got it. Let me just type in what I have. He'll, where adversity is, he will be there, something like that. I think it's Ecclesiasticus 12 and 17. Yeah, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Yeah, and whenever there's something going on with a country and the border, and that's Esau, man. He's always in the midst of that shit, man. He's always playing a part and doing some shit, and then trying to come up with some negotiation where he comes out looking like he starts the shit, and then comes up with a solution where it looks like he was the some type of savior. Ecclesiasticus 12:17 meaning. Let's go chat what that's talking about. Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Okay, going to Ecclesiastes 12 and 17. This verse is speaking about a deceitful enemy who pretends to be a friend, especially during your time of trouble. And right now, let's see what's going on. It's a border dispute, from what they say, but I remember talking to somebody about it who was from Thailand and said there was always this was just something that they were going to use in order to stop fighting, but it's just one of many reasons why they want to get at each other anyways. Understanding and explanation, context. Sirach 12:10-18. This passage warns against trusting an enemy or a wicked man, even if he acts humble or generous. The entire section urges caution, saying that wickedness does not change even if it lies dormant. And that's a beautiful point, because you haven't heard about Thailand and Cambodia, but he's done a lot of shit over there. Even during I forgot that they were doing secret missions to bomb Cambodia when the world didn't even know about that. What the hell were you doing over there? You know, showing you that you can't trust this devil, man. Verse 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. When you're in trouble, your enemy may be the first to appear, not to help you, but to take advantage of your weakness. His sudden presence is not compassion, it's an opportunity to strike. Yeah, so if he's around you, claiming his peace shit, man, you don't want this damn devil near you, man. You might as well come up with a peace agreement with Thailand on your own. But he's gonna create a situation where y'all gonna have to fight. That's why he needs to go. He needs to go into slavery. Okay. Though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He fakes support or sympathy, but he is secretly working against you, plotting your downfall, possibly using your vulnerability to destroy or betray you. And that's exactly what he wants to do. He probably wants some. Let's look at the map of where Cambodia is, and sometimes you can come up with a map of Cambodia. Let's go to, I want Google Maps, man. You know, sometimes you can see if that's his way of trying to get into, some military positions near China. This nigga is funny as shit, man. They're fighting over here at the bottom of China's up here. They're fighting over here. He over there trying to make peace, supposedly. Maybe because that's getting closer to China? I don't know. See, it's just full of shit, man. Now, do I have any proof? No, I don't. So, take it with a grain of salt. But, they got smoke with China. Where you got to see come on, man. What's in your head? He might hit you with a bunch of bullshit. Oh, well, they're fighting over there, and we want peace over there. We want everything to be all right. We want you to be okay. The fuck out of here, man. Dude's a fucking devil, man. He is. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of, whether you like it or not. Okay. Key word definitions from Hebrew and Greek words where possible: adversity, misfortune, calamity, or affliction. War, civil unrest, that's a form of affliction. Undermine, to secretly weaken or sabotage. In the Greek, the word suggests overthrowing or becoming low or bringing low by deceit. Yeah, that's what he's going to try to do. You know, for whatever reason. Ultimately, to probably gain some type of leverage within your country and extort you some way. Okay, Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Yeah, he's never going to change and be someone that someone righteous. Okay, so don't think that. Don't ever think that. Okay, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 55. In 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Let's look into this. Yeah, his words, man, people's words, they meant to deceive you. He's a snake. You trust in his words, man, he gonna rock you to sleep. That's that poison of an asp, and then he gonna kill you. He gonna eat you. Psalms 55 and 21 describes a person whose words are deceptively smooth and pleasant. Yeah, we're going to make peace over here. Peace, peace, peace. Like butter and oil, but whose heart is full of hostility and destructive intentions like drawn swords. Yeah, so he probably wants to overthrow you, put somebody in your stead that's aligned with his agenda, so he can go and further do this to, it makes it easier for him to go in other places in that area to do the same thing to them. Okay, the verse highlight, and yeah, they can't wait to get to the trade table with the U.S. Why would they want to trade with you? It's better that they be aligned with China. They right next door to them. Shouldn't they make their situation better amongst themselves? Why the devil got to go over there and come up with a solution for you? Because he's the one creating the problem. Here's a more detailed breakdown. His speech was smoother than butter. This refers to the person's words being carefully crafted to be pleasing and reassuring, likely to gain trust or manipulate. Listen, we'll trade you. I'll take off the tariff so you can bring your cheap products and sell them in America for, way more money. Or, matter of fact, you can make all the new Balenciaga bags. You know, you can make the new iPhone 17. You know, just anything like that, and they'll fall for it. Yet war was in his heart. Despite the outward smoothness, the person harbors deep-seated anger, conflict, or a desire to harm. Okay, so that's what the devil does. So when he come there smiling with his hand out, ready to shake your hand and all that, you gotta know who you're dealing with, man. You gotta know who you're dealing with. See, these nations are starting to see who the devil is, man. That's why, there's things that, all this shit that's going on over there in the Middle East, man, is showing you, type of mindset this devil got, and the world's watching it. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. This further emphasizes the deceptive nature of the person's words, which are meant to soothe or flatter, but are ultimately intended to wound or destroy. And what was Duck saying? Peace was an honor to deal with both countries. They have a long and storied history and culture. Yeah, like he don't know what the hell, but nothing about Cambodia. He don't know nothing about Thailand. All he knows is most of his shit is made in Thailand. The verse can be interpreted in various ways, but it generally serves as a warning against trusting deceptive appearances and recognizes the potential for hidden malice behind seemingly pleasant words. It is often associated with the biblical figure Ahithophel, who portrayed King David, and is also seen as a broader warning against hypocrisy. Ahithophel. That's a good example, I guess. Ahithophel was a counselor of King David and a man greatly renowned for his wisdom. During Absalom's attempt to usurp the throne, he desired David and supported Absalom, whom he then turned to as an advisor. And he was with, switching sides on your ass, man. Okay? Words smoother than butter. Let me grab this Proverbs 26. Proverbs 26 and 24. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. Let's look at this. He is that is deceptive. Whosoever hates disguises himself with his lips, and harbors deceit within him. According to the English Standard Version, ESV, this verse highlights the deceptive nature of those. Let's get the meaning. Someone who hates another person may hide their true feelings with flattering words, but they are still harboring deceit in their heart. He who hates dissembles with his lips. This part highlights that the person who hates is not being genuine. They use their words to hide their true feelings of hatred. They might say pleasant things or offer compliments to create a false impression of kindness. That's right. Look at the history of Esau, man. He's not coming to do. Okay, I mean, come on, man. If you still believe and trust in this stuff, you're out of here, man. You're out of here. But in his heart, he lays up deceit. This shows that despite the outward display of friendliness, their heart is full of deceit and malice. They are planning and plotting even while appearing to be friendly. Okay, so that's a good example of someone coming to you with a suit and a tie, and you think, yeah, because you got that respect of persons. It's deadly, man, having respect of persons. That's why the Lord speaks against it. Okay, there's a scripture. Gay clothing. Let's grab that. I think it's in James. James 2 and 3. Let's go over there. The sin of partiality. Let's look at this word partiality. Partiality, unfair bias in favor of one thing or person compared with another. Favoritism. Okay. A particular liking or fondness for something. Pretty much showing favoritism. My brethren, James 2 and 1, who are Israelites, have not the faith of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Lord of glory, with respect to persons. Okay, let's see what that means. Let's see what that means. James 2 and 1 in the King James Version reads, just read it. This verse is a strong rebuke against showing favoritism or partiality within the Israelite community, particularly based on wealth or social status, because they look at Duck like he's the god of this world. Okay, so he can come up with deals that you can't. You gotta take it. Like you, wow, he's the master of the deal. You can't say no to it. He'll make it so good. But even in that deal, he's fucking you over. Okay? Even in that deal. And if you don't take the deal, he'll still fuck you over. Because you're dealing with the devil. Okay? It emphasizes that all believers, Israelites, regardless of their worldly standing, are equal in the eyes of God and should be treated with the same respect and love. I don't think that this getting away from the point of favoritism. My brethren, the term endearment addresses fellow Israelites, highlighting their shared faith and family bond. Have not the faith of our Lord Yahweh Shai with the Lord of glory. Emphasizes that genuine faith in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who is the Lord of glory, should not be practiced with partiality. Because you look at Yahweh Shai, man. He wasn't like that. You know, he didn't have that respect of persons. You know. So that's a good example. He's a good example of how to be. Because, you know, Yahushua didn't have a house, and look how he was denied. So same with now, you know, people might, you got to test the spirit, man. 1 John 4:1. You gotta have discernment when you're dealing with people, not just because they're an Israelite. Okay, no. When it comes to respect the persons, man. Hey, man, who's doing? You're you know, you might have a blind eye because somebody got some form of he got position, he got rank. So you'll have respect to persons. He might be doing something wrong, but you won't say nothing about that. Okay, you won't put yourself, because you have respect to persons. You're not gonna say anything about certain things, man. You're gonna go along to get along. Okay. With respect to persons, this refers to the act of showing favoritism or partiality towards certain individuals, often based on eternal factors like wealth or social standing. The core message, James is essentially saying that it's hypocritical and wrong to claim to follow Yahushua, who himself showed love and compassion to all while then showing favoritism in the church. James is essentially saying, let me read that again, that it is hypocritical and wrong to claim to follow Yahushua, who himself showed love and compassion to all, while then showing favoritism in the church. I don't know. I don't think that's the core message. Core message is simple, man. You know, don't show favoritism and ignore the things that someone's doing wrong, or because they might have some type of, for whatever reason, any position in this world. So you're gonna trim. You know, you're not gonna treat somebody who has some type of favor or rank the same way as somebody who doesn't. But if this person who doesn't is you know, I'm thinking of a situation where somebody that's you know, just in sincere heart, but he don't, you know, he might not know, you know, everything, but you know, you can still deal with him in a way where you can build that brother up, you know. Same way with somebody who's in a higher position. He might be all going off somewhere. You should be doing the same thing, trying to build your brother up, or no matter what his economic situation is. James 2:2, for if there come unto you your assembly a man with a gold ring and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool, are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? Yeah, so, same thing. Yeah, let me, you know, all ducks over here. Let me, hey, come sit right here. Yeah. You know, I want to work with you, but your neighbor you treating like shit. When in our actuality, the real adversary is duck. He don't belong over there, but yet he's mingling in other people's matters, and you're treating him with some form of respect because he may or may not have some type of benefits on his side. But the real true benefit is how you can deal with your neighbor, man. Specifically, Thailand and Cambodia, man. Y'all been living next to each other for years. Y'all should be able to negotiate something. James 2:3 highlights the sin of showing favoritism, particularly within a religious setting. It describes an assembly where a wealthy person is given a place of honor, while a poor person is treated with disdain, effectively showing partiality based on outward appearance rather than treating everyone with equal respect. This verse emphasizes that such favoritism is a form of sin and contradicts the Israelite principle of loving one's neighbor impartially. I think some of this is going off. I got that. But you don't want to show favoritism, man. It's very, very simple. It's very simple, man. Okay? Be a respecter of persons, man. You want to make sure you're not like that, man, so you can judge righteous judgment. If you got respect of persons, you don't discern properly. You know, And you can't trust somebody who has respect of persons because he don't judge properly. So his opinions are skewed. It's based on the popular vote. You know, he is based on the popular vote, man. You know, that's why even Esau, when you vote, man, the popular vote don't mean shit. It's those electoral votes, man. The elect, man. That's what matters. It's the Lord, man. His vote about you, man. So you want to make sure you want to refrain from those things. James 2:4 says, "Are ye not then partial in yourselves?" Okay, so let's look at that. You're not yet partial in yourselves. If you can't judge, so it starts with yourself, man. In context of showing favoritism means that Israelites should not discriminate between people based on their wealth or social status. The verse highlights that by showing partiality, believers are essentially acting as judges with evil thoughts, making distinctions and judgments based on outward appearances rather than spiritual equality. Have you not made distinction among yourselves? This refers to the practice of treating some people with more respect or attention than others, often based on wealth or social standing. It could be on wealth or social standing or rank or just, you know, any form of it could be pretty much anything. You know, nowadays, you know, it'd probably be more so what position you hold in the world, you know, or if you're trying to hold some position, you know, everyone thinks highly of you. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, you know, you gotta, does that come with respect to persons, you know, because a lot of people, you know, it's hard to get around it, man. It really is, man. And if you're respecting of persons, you're probably not judging yourself properly. Therefore, you're not judging other people properly. And become judges with evil thoughts. This part of the verse critiques the mindset behind this favoritism. It implies that these Israelites are judging others with biased and unfair perspective, essentially acting as unjust judges. So exactly, man. Your house ain't in order, you know. Especially you yourself and how you doing things, man. So you gotta watch out for that, man. You gotta really watch out for that. And there's a difference between having respect and having a respect of persons. You can have respect for somebody. All right. You can have respect for somebody, man. Sometimes it's not always about, you know, just telling people what's wrong with them. Sometimes it's you. You might not like what another brother does, but how you handle these situations shows you what kind of judge you are and how you doing things. Okay? Sometimes you gotta know how to navigate these situations, man. Whatever the Lord's situation puts you into, you gotta be you gotta apply wisdom. Okay, whether it be you, and because you can't change anybody but yourself. You can't, you know, you gotta change yourself, man. And it says that in essence, James 2:4 calls on believers to treat all people with equal respect and dignity, recognizing that God does not show favoritism and that true faith should transcend social distinctions. Yeah, and then the Most High, he ain't no respecter of persons, man. He don't even care if you're a kid or an old person. He'll put your ass to death, man. Same if you're young. Same if look what he did to Moses. He's no respecter of persons, man. Okay. All right. So you know, you might wanna, let's get back to Proverbs 24 and 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Yeah, Esau, he's a damn abomination. Okay, Proverbs 26 and 25 warns against trusting someone who speaks kindly but harbors deceitful intentions. It suggests that when someone who is known to be malicious or hateful uses pleasant words, it's wise to be wary because their heart may be full of wickedness. The verse highlights the contrast between outward charm and inner corruption, emphasizing the importance of discerning true character from mere appearances. You don't want to have that, man. Okay, and it's deeper than your mere appearance. You know, it's your words too. You know, someone speaking kindly, because it's like you're trying to judge someone's character, and it's deeper than the outward appearance. If you're that shallow-minded, you're gonna think it's what he's saying that kind of tells you the thoughts of the inner man. So if he's speaking sweetly, it's like he's trying to wear, like he's a nice person on the inside, but it's all false, man. Never trust thine enemy, just like I said in Ecclesiastes 12:10. Here's a more detailed breakdown. When he speaks graciously, believe him not. This part of the verse highlights the deceptive nature of some individuals. They may use flattering or agreeable language to manipulate or deceive others. I mean, we know this. We know people lie. Okay, but how much more the devil, man? Okay, never mind, you know, regular people that you know, the devil himself. For 7 abominations are in his heart. This emphasizes that despite the pleasant words, the person is deeply corrupt. The 7 abominations are a symbolic representation of the many wicked and evil things that reside in their heart, according to the relevant Bible teaching. Yeah, that's right. 7 evil spirits. Let me grab that. In Matthew. Matthew 12:43. Let's go there. There's a lot more in James 2, but I'm gonna keep it moving. Matthew 12 and words reveal character. That's what we're getting into. The desire for signs. Right here, Matthew 12 and verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Yeah, so, you know, those 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, that's a complete number of demons on you when you come into truth and fall out of it. But imagine Esau, though, who is the wicked, man. How many demons he got on him, man? He's a complete walking demon. He's literally the embodiment of Satan, the physical demon Satan. Okay. Proverbs 26:25. This proverb is a part of a larger section of Proverbs 26 that discusses the dangers of deceit, gossip, and conflict. It serves as a warning to be discerning and not easily swayed by smooth talk, especially from those who have shown malicious intent. And that's what he does. He's always done that, man. Look what he's doing all over the world. Look at Ukraine and Russia. Look at North Korea and South Korea, Taiwan and China. All right, Thailand and Cambodia. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. Interpretation Bible commentaries say the verse is a cautionary tale against trusting individuals who dissemble their true feelings into intentions. It emphasizes that a person's words can be a mask for their true character, and it's crucial to look beyond mere appearances to discern their motives. Yeah, so this is why you got to read your Bible to know who the damn devil is. It's clear as day he's a devil, but I mean, I guess y'all can't see it, or you don't want to see it. You've been blinded. One interpretation suggests the story of Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Yahushua with a kiss. As an example of this kind of deceptive behavior, according to one commentary, he used flattery and a false display of affection to conceal his true intentions. Yep, that's that goat. Judas Iscariot is the goat, man. I forgot what I forgot what they call it. Let me see if I can find it. They call him. I forgot what they call him. The Judas goat, that's exactly. Refers to an animal, typically a goat, used to lead other animals to slaughter or to a new location, often as part of a livestock drive or in a slaughterhouse. The term is derived from the biblical figure Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Yahushua. Exactly. The term Judas goat is directly inspired by the biblical story of Judas Iscariot, one of Yahushua's disciples who betrayed him to the authorities in the context of livestock handling. A Judas goat acts as a guide, leading other animals to their fate. And that's what, and Esau is that goat. Okay? It's funny how the similarities between, because Judas Iscariot is called the son of perdition. Esau is called the son of perdition. Okay? The Judas goat is referred to betraying the Messiah. And same thing with Esau. Esau is referred to as a goat in Daniel the 8th chapter. You know, let me grab it. Daniel 8, the vision of the ram and goat. Daniel 8 and 8, therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. For it came up four notable ones toward the four winds of heaven. And that great notable horn is talking about, is talking about Alexander the Greek. The great horn was broken. He's the great horn. And the little horn is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay. And showing you that's Esau as a goat. Being referred to as a goat. Okay. And now he's here to lead you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to the greatest slaughter known to mankind by taking that RFID microchip. Proverbs 26 and 26, whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Okay, let's get that understanding. Proverbs 26 and 26, their deceitful words may temporarily mask their malice, but eventually the truth will come out, often in a public setting, and that's exactly what he's going to do. You're going to see that, yeah, he might have created some peace in there, and then he's going to use that peace for war, to put your guard down so we can attack you. Maybe not you specifically, but somewhere he's using it for war. Maybe somewhere else in that, so we can springboard or put troops in that area, get you involved in some shit where you got to fight on his behalf, create some instability in that region so he can come up in there and do whatever he got to do. He's been running the same playbook for generations now. We're tired of his shit, man. Deception as a disguise, the verse highlights how someone can use flattering or deceitful language to hide their true hateful intentions. And that's him, man. That's Esau. Hidden wickedness, the hatred covered by deceit, refers to the outward appearance of kindness or friendship, masking an inner hatred or malicious intent. Public exposure, the wickedness shown before the whole congregation, signifies that the true nature of the person's heart will eventually be revealed, often in a public or noticeable way. This could be in a courtroom, a community gathering, or even at the final judgment. Yeah, I guess when you find out what his true intents are, you know, a person, let's read that Proverbs, I'm reading it again, Proverbs 26 and 26. A person who hides hatred with deceptive words will eventually have their wickedness revealed, even if they try to conceal it. Yeah, because he's gonna show you in the end why he did what he did. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, Second Edges, chapter 16, and 49. Like as an whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall the righteousness have iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face when he cometh that shall defend him, that diligently searcheth out every sin upon earth. Let's get that. Let's get that. Second Edges 16 and 49. 2 Esdras 16:49 meaning. What the hell? 2 Esdras 16. In 2 Esdras 16:49, the verse uses a simile to illustrate God's anger towards sin. It states that just as a respectable and virtuous woman despises a harlot, so God despises sin. The verse highlights the contrast between righteousness and iniquity, emphasizing that God's wrath is provoked by sin, much like a virtuous woman is disgusted by immorality. Okay. The verse draws a comparison between the abhorrence a respectable woman feels when towards a harlot and God's abhorrence of sin. Respectable woman / virtuous woman, this represents righteousness, purity, and moral integrity. A harlot, this represents sin, wickedness, and moral corruption. God's anger, the verse indicates that God's anger is directly related to the sins of humanity. The more people adorn themselves and their possessions, the more God's anger will be kindled against them because of their sins. Contrast, the verse establishes a clear contrast between righteousness and sin, implying that sin is inherently repulsive and offensive to God. Okay. 2 Esdras 50, meaning 16 and 50 describes how righteousness will expose and condemn sin, much like a respectable woman would abhor a prostitute. It highlights the contrast between righteousness and sinfulness, emphasizing that when the Messiah comes, righteousness will reveal and judge every sin. So, yeah, I mean, in the end, going back to Proverbs 26 and 26, whose hatred is covered by deceit. A lot of y'all don't know he's a devil. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation, because he's going to be judged when the Lord returns and exposes his ass for being the devil that he is. Righteousness as a judge. The verse highlights the analogy of a respectable woman despising a prostitute to illustrate how righteousness will react to sin. Exposing and condemning sin, righteousness will expose every sin in the world and condemn it face to face, meaning it will reveal the true nature of sin and judge it accordingly. And that's what he's doing now. He's being exposed, and then he's going to get judged. The coming of the defender, the verse mentions her defender, which is often interpreted as the Messiah, who will bring about this judgment of sin. Contrast with sinfulness, the verse contrasts righteousness with sinfulness, suggesting that sin will be revealed and judged for what it is. And we know that Proverbs 16:4 tells you you're going to be destroyed, Esau. You were created for the day of evil. Proverbs 26:27, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it shall return upon him. Let's see what that means. Whoso diggeth a pit, you create a situation or snare for the nation of Israel, it's going to fall upon you. It says, it means that those who try to harm others with traps or by causing harm with rolling stones will ultimately face the same fate they intended for others. The verse illustrates the idea that evil deeds often boomerang back to the perpetrator. Yeah, but what you're trying to do is, what Esau's trying to do is trying to set up a new world order. Okay? This is going to roll back on him because the nation of Israel, he's going to try to set up a new world order where you get rid of the Heavenly Father, his Son, and the nation of Israel. But in all actuality, he going into slavery. The nation of Israel is going to rule forever, and he shall perish forever like his own dung. So he's fitting that, man. That's what this is going into. Okay, rolling a stone, this refers to causing harm by initiating a destructive force, like rolling a stone down a hill. However, the stone could easily roll back and injure the person who started it. So yeah, just, when you're about to fill his belly in sudden destruction, that's like you about to push the stone down the hill, and something was at the bottom of the stone and made it roll back the other way, and it crushed you. Your plan is it's all gonna fall upon your own head, man. Okay? That's the beauty of it all. So all these things, don't be surprised that these things are happening. He's going around the world deceiving, trying to set up. It's all part of this. The Lord allowing him to do these things so he can roll this stone upon his own head. Proverbs 26. Actually, let me finish reading whatever I had. It says the principle of Proverbs highlights the concept of what goes around comes around and suggests that evil actions have a tendency to backfire and cause harm to the person who initiated them. The idea is also seen in other parts of the Bible, such as Psalm 7 and 15 through 16, which describes the wicked falling into the pit they dug. Similarly, the story of Joseph and his brothers in Genesis shows how what his brothers intended for evil, God used for good, illustrating the principle of unintended consequences for malicious actions. Yeah, in that situation, he intended it for good, but that was for Israel. Okay, but you dig in a pit to put us in it, but it's going to roll back on you. You're going to be in the pit, according to Isaiah the 14th chapter. All right? So it's all good, man. Keep doing what you're doing, Esau. You're doing a great job. Absolute great job. I'm proud of you. Isaiah 14 and 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Yeah, you're going to be destroyed, man. You're going to be destroyed, man. You going in the pit. Is this the man here, right here? Esau, Edom? Proverbs 26 and 28. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. Let's see what this means. Proverbs 26 and 28 explains the destructive nature of dishonesty and insincere flattery. It states that a lying tongue hates those it hurts, and a flattering mouth causes ruin. This means that liars often harbor hatred towards those they deceive, and flatterers use insincere praise to manipulate and ultimately harm others. A lying tongue hates those it hurts. This highlights the malicious intent behind lies. Liars and their deceitful actions often harbor a deep-seated dislike or even hatred for the people they are deceiving, causing them pain and damage. Ooh, lying tongue, man. That's deep, man. He really hates you. A flattering mouth works ruin. Flattery, while seemingly harmless or even positive, is condemned as a tool for manipulation and ultimately destructive. Flatterers use insincere praise to gain favor or achieve a desired outcome, often at the expense of others. So when his country is so great, they have so much history. The hell out of here. He don't give a fuck about none of that shit. He's trying to make America great again, man. All right, or Israel great again. I don't know, whatever his new slogan is. Ultimately, the verse emphasizes the importance of truthfulness and genuine intentions in our interactions with others. According to some Bible commentaries, it serves as a warning against the dangers of both lying and insincere flattery, highlighting their potential for harm and destruction. Yeah, be careful. Be careful when this devil's around you. All right? Be careful. He says, when all is done and peace is at hand, I look forward to concluding our trading agreements with both. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's jump over here. I just wanted to get some news, as a matter of fact. Let's just go to news. See what else is out there for today. Epstein Associated Ghislaine Maxwell secures DOJ limited immunity. Gabbard in White House lying about intel on Russian interference in 2016. Late July's oppressive heat forecast isn't normal. Cambodia calls for ceasefire with Thailand as death toll rights. rises, Salakia. From Epstein to Obama, Trump's Washington is consumed by competing. Trump tells Europe to get your act together on immigration before US-EU. Man accused of groping Northeastern student told police his mother was. Whatever. Fenway Park concessions workers continue to strike ahead. DoorDash worker shot, hurt in Boston. U.S. Attorney Everett man accused of selling thousands of dollars of illegal guns. What? This is Boston. Wildfire smoke from Canada impacting air quality, tracking return of rain Sunday. Let's see about this DoorDasher. I'm almost done. DoorDash worker shot, hurt in Boston. A DoorDash worker was hospitalized after being shot in a Boston neighborhood late Friday. Police responded to an 81 Faneuil Street in Brighton at around 11:41 p.m. on July 25th for a report of a person shot. The Boston Police Department told Mass Live Saturday morning the man, identified as a DoorDash worker, was driven to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made. It's dangerous out here, man. You know. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Let me see, did I have anything here? It says summary, Ecclesiasticus 12 and 17 teaches that your enemy will show up in your time of hardship, not out of love or loyalty, but to destroy you. Even if he pretends to help, his true motive is to bring harm. This verse continues the theme of not being naive about who you trust, especially those with a history of evil. And I'm going to end it right there. Lord's will, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Shalom.